Hello and welcome to What Languages Can You Use to Write Azure Functions? In this video, I want to describe the languages that are available for Azure Functions, and then also I want to make sure that you know that some of those languages have full support and there are some more that are in preview. We've got some really great choices for languages with full support, and with the full support, we really have seen that these languages have been vetted, tested, tried and true, and everything that's working in Azure Functions works very well with these three languages. Both C# and F# are built on .NET framework, and JavaScript, of course, is a scripting language for web and language of the browsers. So between these three options, you really have some great choices for working with your Azure Functions. And of course, with that full support, you also have got a lot of samples and templates. And just because these languages have been used with Azure Functions really from the very beginning, you can find a lot of help when you need it. Unfortunately, if you don't program with these languages, you may be feeling like you're a little bit left out, or that you wish that you had some other options rather than to just learn these languages to use them. Thankfully, not a lot of choice really goes away when you start to look at some of the languages that are experimental. So these experimental languages, they are working with Azure Functions. However, they're maybe just not quite all the way there yet, not just enough testing to really move them out of beta and into full production. Of course, I've used some of these languages and I've had no problems working with them in Azure Functions. And I expect that these languages will make it out of preview in the near future. Bash and Batch, great for scripting and automation. C# and F# and JavaScript, as we already mentioned, and also PHP for doing some web processing. PowerShell for automation, and this is a huge one for doing any kind of Azure Functions where you are looking to automate, especially your Azure resources. Python is automation from all over the place, and TypeScript is another JavaScript framework. Between all of these languages, you really have some great choices here, and don't be afraid if you're thinking that you don't want to use an experimental language because they may go away. Really not going to happen. I really have a lot of faith that these languages are not going to be just something that are being tried and then taken away because they're not going to work out. We're going to see Python. We're going to see PowerShell with full support, and Bash and PHP. No problems. We just have to make sure that we give enough time and vetting and giving enough time for everything to get, if there's any little bugs in there, that they're getting worked out. In the next video, we're going to see how the pricing structure works in serverless computing and Azure Functions.